This box might be the most exotic thing that ever has been mailed to me. Seriously, ever. To start off this intro, I introduce you to Rica, also known as Wool Around the World here on YouTube and Instagram. Rica, take it away.
Hey all! We made it to Delhi. We are in Majnu Katila, mainly to pick up this beauties here, fun spindles from Ladakh. I asked my friend that has a family in Ladakh if she can order me some and send them, and that was in April. It took like 3 months now to get them, and you think it's something really easy to get, but it's not. Like first the roads were blocked because there was still snow, then they had to ship it, and now I had to pick it up in Delhi to get it to Europe. These are the traditional spinning bowls that they use up in Ladakh. They are made of like walnut and apricot kernels. So when they make the oil of walnut and apricots, the leftovers from the kernels are made into this form to use them as spinning bowls. And these are the traditional Ladakhi fang spindles. You see, they're really simple but really effective, especially for short fibers like yak and pashmina. They spin quite well, and you can spin quite nice and lacy yarn with them. And now we are in the restaurant of my friend's brother in Majnu Katila. He did bring it from Ladakh. Some monk bought it for me in Ladakh. He did bring it to Majnu Katila, and now I'm picking it up in their restaurant to bring it to you guys in Europe.
So I was expecting a postage of support spindles, but now, to be completely honest with you all, I had to dig in this box to actually find the spindles, because Rica might possibly be the most generous person alive. Here is a card that details what is in this box. Here is a spinning adventure kit from India. We have some traditional Ladakhi fang spindles and spinning bowls made from walnut and apricot kernel residue. For the fibers, there is some yak from the nomads in Ladakh, some camel from Rajasthan, and Himalayan sheep wool dyed with nettle. Ready to spin is some yak and sheep mix prepared on my hand cards. I hope you have some fun with it. The bag is handmade by the local women corporation, and the leaves are against moths. Enjoy! So this is the bag she's talking about. I love being a piece of peace. This is also like a year's supply of tea. This is the first interesting little baggie. And I think this is the prepared, yeah, these look like Rolex that might have been squished by the mail. Nice. So yak and sheep. Ah! There is yak in this box. Oh my god. Yak and camel. Are we grasping the concept that we have super exotic fibers in this box, and I didn't even know I was getting them? This might be the Himalayan sheep wool dyed with nettle fibers. This might be the camel, and this is yak.
Really nice warm wool, because these animals live in the high altitudes, but it's not getting too hot even in the summer, because they are over like 5,000 meters a lot of the times, and the sun is quite intensely there, so they still have some protection from the sun and also from the rain. So it's quite a nice material, and I went to explore if I can find some yaks and some of these things in Ladakh.
Very interesting. Now, the yak and camel are also kind of to protect this. This is the traditional Ladakhi spinning bowl made from residue of kernels, as she wrote. And I think here is another one, if I remember from opening the bag, because I was, of course, way too excited to wait until I was home to check this all out. So yeah, 2 spinning bowls. Traditionally handmade spindles, phangs from India?
It's like a traditional kind of spindle from this region. It's a supported spindle and it's quite cheap. You get it for like 50 cents to €1. And it's like hand whittled, as you can see. And that's what is traditionally used in this area for spinning. So what happens in Ladakh is it's so cold in the winter that people cannot really leave the house. They are kind of snowed in for several months. So all the women gather in the winter in the mostly kitchen area where they have big warm stoves, and then they're sitting around spinning, chatting, preparing wool that comes from the nomad areas of Ladakh. So it's still a traditional thing that is done by the people all the time.
I am holding here in my hands absolute treasures that I do not know how to ever repay Rica for. Yeah, I think the only thing we can do is spin, right? Test them out. How do these feel, especially in conjunction with the bowls and the fiber. So let's take a closer look to these fiber tools, shall we? So here is the bowl. And one of the spindles. Now, I noticed they are not as round as the ones that we get here in Europe, like the... No, I'm going to show you one. I have one. Good comparison. This is a goddess pang spindle that I got from Regenbogenwolle, and then this is the artisanal phang from Ladakh. This one is, as you can see, perfectly smoothly round, while this actually has two flat sides. I wasn't the biggest fan of this spindle. I am going to admit to you that from all my Regenbogenwolle spindles, this is my least favorite. So I'm really curious to spin with this one, how it will compare. I'm also really interested in spinning these fibers. These are absolutely new fibers to me. Never have spun anything in the likes of yak before. So I'm just going to take you along with me, see what we can do. Yeah, you know, the chaos goblin way. Try it and find out. Come and try with me. Oops, I went a little bit too thin here. I actually don't know how you traditionally wind a cup on a phang. Just doing something, I guess. Oops, there it went. I've been spinning a lot with Russian spindles and they go fast. This is actually super soft. Yak fiber. Actually really soft. And the spindle is also spinning quite nicely. However, I have already destroyed the tip. Yeah. I am excited. Very much so. If I remember correctly, then Rica and I first started talking over Instagram around the time period of my 100 days spindle spinning vlog. And one of our most talked about topics was, of course, spindles. You know I am a spindle nerd. You talk to me about spindles and we just keep going. Rica at that point was traveling through Asia. I'm not quite sure if she was in Tibet or Nepal or some other parts, and was studying Buddhism at the time. Maybe still is. But that was super interesting to watch. You can watch all of her abroad adventures on both YouTube and Instagram, as I have said. And then last month she returned to Europe for a while and then found the time and energy to send out some packages with spindles to other people in Europe. So I spun up the 3 row legs that Rica prepared on the 3 spindles, and now I have a 4th spindle to ply those 3 together. I'm pretty interested to see how this yarn will turn out, because my singles were not the most consistent. Yak is a very interesting fiber. It feels super soft, especially in conjunction with the wool, but it's also really short, so I have quite a bit of sloppy bits in my yarn. Yak will ask some more practice. Let's make a plying ball first and then let's ply. Oh no, where is the end of my grey yarn? I lost it. Here it is. Here it is. There we have it. A hank of yarn spun on traditional Ladakhi phangs and traditional apricot and walnut kernel residue spinning ball. Always interesting to see how plying really hides or evens out the inconsistencies in a yarn. This is actually a pretty decent yarn to me. Little bit of twist still, but it's the first time with this new fiber and these new tools, right? I always like experimenting with new fibers, new tools. It really brings me a lot of joy to do that. So, thank you Rica for sending me the tools and the fiber. If you haven't already checked out her channel and subscribed, maybe this is a good time to do so. With this yak fiber being so soft and actually probably very warm, I think this might be like ideal yarn to make hats and scarves this winter. What do you think? It's a really soft yarn too. I mean, soft, no, it's really... I really enjoy just squishing it down. It has a nice crispy sound to it as well. Can you hear that? This is of course only the start of my adventures with these fibers. As you saw, there is also some camel and some Himalayan sheep fiber. Adventures are to be had. And if you like those kind of adventures and fiber shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe. But of course, that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in a next video. But before we do that, some other spindle spinning shenanigans. Bye.